Here's a question. Will Governor Braun call a special session to redraw Indiana's congressional districts? It's a question that a lot of people want answered.
So Indiana Senate Republicans were set to meet today, but they did keep the details of that discussion private. 13 News Statehouse reporter Emily Longnecker is at the Indiana Statehouse with what she has learned about it. Emily?
Yeah, while details of today's meeting between Senate Republicans have not been released, we do know how some Americans feel about mid-decade redistricting, thanks to a new poll. The nonpartisan grassroots organization Common Cause released a survey showing 60% of Americans oppose mid-decade redistricting.
They recognize it for what it is, a partisan power grab, no matter if it's happening in a Republican state, a Democrat state. They just recognize that it's breaking the rules and shouldn't be done.
Common Cause recently surveyed 2,000 registered voters across the country, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, along with up to 500 registered voters in 5 states, both red and blue. Their survey also found 77% of voters across the country think when it comes time to redraw congressional districts, a bipartisan group of citizens should be the ones doing it, not lawmakers, something Common Cause also supports.
The public recognizes that both Republicans and Democrats abuse this process when they are allowed to.
I think when people realize that an independent commission is more likely to look out for the community's interests and the people's interests rather than just the politicians' interests, that's what people favor.
Paul Helmke's the former Republican mayor of Fort Wayne, now an independent and IU professor.
I think the simplest one would first of all be say that we don't do mid-decade redistricting.
According to the Common Cause survey, 64% of Republicans and independent voters favored a ban on mid-decade redistricting. And 60% of those who said they voted for Donald Trump in 2024 said they wanted Congress to enact that ban.
As our polling shows, Hoosiers recognize this for what it is. We are rule followers in Indiana. We don't believe in changing rules in the middle of the game.
How the game will end in Indiana, though, is still the question. And right now, the people calling the shots, namely Republican leadership and the governor, aren't saying. And coming up tonight at 11, we'll check in with some political science experts about where they say they see this all going and whether or not they believe we're going to see a special session here in Indiana. At the Indiana Statehouse, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
House Republicans now are set to meet on Friday.